Hello and welcome. Episode 46 of On Second Thought with Mike and Matt. Coming to you live Sunday morning, November the 23rd. And Matt, I almost didn't fit through the recording door today. We're eating so large, pre-Thanksgiving.
Yes.
The video game world is bustling and booming with all sorts of games. I am popping at the seams with all sorts of games to play. We're eating large. But let me be the first, Matt, to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Just days away
You
here.
do. Yeah. Yep. Got the turkey out of the freezer the other day. It's starting its thaw. Got the other fixings upstairs ready to start cooking shit this week and on Thursday and stuff. And be interesting. Be a good time. Hopefully.
The fixings.
The stuffings.
Don't let anybody tell you you're not old school.
Yep, got the stuffing, the corn, green bean casserole, yams. Who knows what? I don't know what all Barb's got up there. She's planning on cooking. I'm in charge of the turkey. That's what I know.
Green bean casserole, sir. Away with
The only
that.
time I like it. It's the only time I like it is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's the only time I like it. Any other time, yeah, you can throw that shit in the garbage.
So
I just going up. Summer picnics, everyone brings something like that. And someone will always bring green bean casserole at a hot summer picnic. That is not a hot summer dish. No, sir. Mm-mm.
you people and your families and your outings.
Yeah. Yes.
You and your family doing family things. How dare you?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, I had grand plans for Thanksgiving. Once again, I was gonna host at my house, which I like to do.
Something you love to do.
First of all, my cousin's husband got injured at a touch-a-truck event. He
Unless you're supposed to be safe places.
Yes, he went either up or down a vehicle the wrong way. And just last week or so ago, needed major either ACL or MCL or both surgery.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's laid up for 6 to 8 weeks. So my cousin didn't feel like they were mobile enough. So those three bailed. The cousin, the man hurt, and the child. Those three bailed, and that had a domino effect because my aunt, the cousin's mother, said, well, we want to be home with them, so that cluster of families just staying locals rather than traveling. So then my brother and his family were going to come over with my parents. Unfortunately, my dad is sick again, and he has to go back into the hospital tomorrow for some liver procedure. And so he's going to be in inpatient care for a few days. So that's kind of cutting it kind of close to being in the hospital, surgery, inpatient care, and then coming over for Thanksgiving. Right. So all works out well because the Mahoney family over here is hanging on by a thread, sick as dogs. Anyways, so
yeah.
It is going to be a quiet Thanksgiving, just the five of us and the new dog.
Mm-hmm.
And
dog's first Thanksgiving.
Dog's first Thanksgiving, and eagerly anticipating as Lynn slowly starts getting ready for Christmas. More and more of the holiday decorations are coming up from the basement.
Now I've noticed the past few years. I've known you for I don't know since the '80s or something like that. Now I'm pretty sure, but I've noticed in your little abode down there in the basement, there never seems to be any Christmas cheer that happens down in that room.
Where the fuck would it fit? I got the thing packed full.
You could hang up some holly or something along the walls, and some people. I'm sure Jonah, Eric Glover's wife, can give you all types of tips. Like wrapping the pictures up and to look like presents hanging on the wall, or
I'm pretty sure Jonah was someone in the Bible, and Jonah is Eric's.
Jonah, yeah,
is Eric's wife.
Didn't Jonah like the Noah and the Ark or something like that?
Fuck.
Jonah brothers.
3 minutes in, we already got to do a major correction.
Yeah, it's early on Sunday.
It is.
Anyways, you could do something down. There's plenty of room to hang up a wreath. Put some poinsettias in there. Yeah.
Put some, what's that stuff over the door?
A holly.
No. Like
Mistletoe.
mistletoe. There you go.
Yeah. You just leave the door open. Hope the wind comes down for smooches.
Yep.
That's not going to happen.
No. Nope. She wants nothing to do with me now, especially when I'm sick.
Yeah, it's going through our house too. Sickness. Me, I always sound like this, but Barb and the kids probably get something going through.
It's sweeping the nation. But the show must go on. Last week was week 3 of the new job, and I was sick the whole time, but didn't call out. Was there working. I got a short week coming up this week. They have given us newbies the holiday off and the day off afterwards. It's
Nice.
It's mighty white of them. And,
Nice.
Yeah, so onward, upward. Got my first paycheck yesterday.
Living large.
Everything's turning up, Mike. Besides my illness.
Yeah.
But yeah, onward and upward. Holiday week, Black Friday. It seems like last 10 years plus maybe. They jumped the gun. All the Black Friday sales are already out before Black Friday. Is that like, what's the right word? Is that like just culture as a whole? Like you can just say like, there's no more just hurry up and get to it. There's no more patience in letting things just happen and evolve. The days when people weren't online as much and they had the Black Friday sales, you'd have to go in person. Jonna and her mother would always go out, and Jeremy's wife and Jeremy's mother-in-law would always go out early. I mean, is anybody? Do they have those anymore? Is anybody doing that anymore? I
don't know. It seems like there's so many sales anymore across the year, and to me, from what I've seen, the stuff that I've been looking at, these Black Friday sales aren't anything special than anything other that's been going on throughout the year. I mean, Black Friday sale used to be, a TV for like $50 or something like that, or you get a computer for $100. Things that that type of stuff, right?
Wow.
But
I wasn't paying attention. I would have stocked up. How much bezel was on those $50 TVs though? Were you like seeing like very little of the screen, just a lot of plastic?
At least 3 inches on each side, at least. But you remember, games are like $10. Like we're talking like games that came out this year, like Kingdom Come or Clair Obscura or even Borderlands would have been like $20 on Black Friday. And they're not this year. They're in years past. And like I said, Black Friday sales start like the week before now on stuff, and it's not. I think it's still a big deal, but as far as like the Fridays and stuff where people got up early and going shopping, I'm not sure if that's still a big thing or not.
Yeah. Anything on your list? What are you looking for? I know a new mouse. I know you're over there. You're deep in the coal mines of the double-click hell. Yep. You want to tell the audience what's going on with your mouse?
Well, yeah, I've got this Razer Death Adder Elite that I bought years ago, and it's been a fantastic mouse. It's perfect shape. It feels good in my hand, like a nice little boob. Lights up and stuff, and got the buttons and everything. Real thick cord. In the past, I don't know, few months, I'd say probably the past half year, it started to get this thing where when you press down to click, it'll double click. So like it'll boop boop boop. Like here before, I tried to mute myself.
It sounds like there's some skin residue stuck in there. Possibly. So when it clicked down, it gets like stuck. It can't come back up. So it's doing the old.
Possibly, but this is not a Matt Homer issue. This is a widespread issue with this mouse. I've done my Google on it, and people besides people named Matt using this are having the same issue. So it's some people are saying take it apart. You got to replace the optical switch. Some people, just blow into it and breathe into it and discharges the static electricity that's doing. And I don't know, that seems to work. So I just might go out and get 4 or 5 years for a mouse. That's pretty good.
It's good value. Just think of all the sites think of all the tube sites you've perused with that.
I don't even know what the hell. Maybe something there is causing the issue.
Yeah.
A little
Ohio government has been zapping your mouse because you've been visiting the sites that they're trying to block too often. So that
don't get me started on that.
They're starting soft with the mouse, and then they're going to work their way up.
Work the way up to my hand and just like lock my hand where I can't do anything with my hand.
And take your vision away.
Oh no, that's the worst there. That's my biggest fear of all is my vision going away.
Imagine just having to listen to porn to get off.
I mean, Jesus Christ, that'd be bad. You just hear a bunch of.
Oh boy. 50% of the audience just bailed. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
I could have Barb narrating what's going on.
That could work. I don't see her volunteering to do that, though.
I don't see it either. No. I forgot pay.
Well, you wouldn't see it either.
No, I'm just. Yeah.
What the hell are we talking? How did we get from Black Friday to blind porn?
Where are you coming from here? God damn.
Oh, your mouse. Your mouse was dying, and you're going out to buy a new mouse. That's what you're looking for, sales.
Yeah.
Now, how are you test driving this mouse? You go to Best Buy and are you test driving them? Do they have samples on the anymore? Or are you just looking at the package and going, that looks cool?
I guess they still have them on like that little display where you could like hold it in your hand. I would imagine. I don't know. It's a good question.
We don't want to do that.
Go over and look.
In the year 2025, I don't sure want to be touching other people's peripherals.
No, I just buy it, and I've been looking at some reviews online here, and I just order it to be picked up and drive over and get it. Just do that.
Prior to the Patriots-Bengals game, after the Patriots-Bengals game, during the Patriots-Bengals game?
It depends how that game goes, I guess. Yeah. Maybe before the game here, I'll probably after we do our fine show. Well, actually, I don't know. I got kind of a busy day now all of a sudden, Mike. I want to clean up my basement here. My basement's a little bit messy, just a lot of junk and shit around. I want to tidy up the basement and do some stuff down here.
Now, what's all that stuff? What's all that stuff on the bookshelf? Are those DVDs?
Yeah, those are all DVDs.
Now, how many of those are kids' DVDs?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 10. I don't know, if that. I don't know. I got all types of stuff here. These will be coming out here soon. Christmas Vacation, Wonderful Life.
I was going to say, because if you don't watch any of these, there's tremendous space you can have right there. Some of those
Cool Hand Luke. Good movie. It's a great movie.
So it sounds like you go to this library over here quite often to watch stuff.
This is something I usually pull out every year. The Man with No Name trilogy, Clint Eastwood. Good, Bad, and the Ugly, A Few Dollars More, Fistful of Dollars. Dust coming off there when I touch it. There's dust coming off.
You got a dust bunny and go through there.
Yeah, I'll send one of the cats over there to clean it up.
That cat's probably causing the dust. Damn cats.
I would imagine.
That's probably why the mouse doesn't work. Damn cat's probably jumping on your desk.
Cats down here during the day using it.
Doing their taxes.
Yeah, I wish.
Now, this time of year always is a confusing time, decision time. I got a few games that I haven't bought during the year that I got my eye on for a discount, and they're on sale right now. Mm-hmm. Do I get them, or do I wait for Santa to give me those, Spacebucks gift cards? And then will they be on sale again at that time? Post Christmas, probably, maybe. Yeah. So
we have your eye on. We get your eye on there.
Well, I haven't bought the Assassin's Creed Shadows yet. I'd like to get to that at some point, especially going from Ghost of Yōtei into that. That could,
be a good transition.
Yep. I like the Dying Light games. I haven't bought the newest one. That's on sale too. That's about it. But there are lots of games, man. I am surprised that you were able to record today and break away from Tavern Keeper, which I'm hearing is the latest, and greatest Steam release. I thought you'd be all over Tavern Keeper. And
I've heard about this game.
You have?
Yep.
The other game I want to hit you with, I know you're into the Geometry Survivor, is Sectori. Get that on your radar.
Sectori?
Sektori. Sectori. If you're into the Geometry Wars, Geometry Survivors, it's like $14.99 on Steam and PlayStation.
This one I have not heard of.
Yeah, I like to keep you abreast of the latest and greatest, and like I said, surprised you weren't slinging beers at the tavern. Can't make it today, Mike, because
now. So I'm typing in the little box here. Okay, Sectori, and I get Sector Sky, Sector. Then comes up MILF, Sex Prison, Sector X.
What box you type? Well, first of all, I got to know what box you're typing in, sir.
On Steam. There. MILF, Sex Prison, Sector X.
You got your Steam is so out of control. Like,
no shit, dude. Tell me about it.
I mean, I just put SEK and it's the second game that comes up.
Oh, maybe should I put FCC?
FCC? No.
Sakura. Shadows Die Twice?
No, the one below.
No, Sectori.
Sectori, yes. Thank you, sir. Your Steam is so unhinged, it's not even funny.
It is. It is absolutely unhinged, and it's not anything I did.
Yeah, right.
I'm not looking up sex MILF prison. I'm not looking that stuff up. The problem is
you gave that
Jeremy.
You gave that 5-star review to that
General Jousting.
Anytime you do a review like that, sir, they got you hooked.
That's the problem. Jeremy got on that General Jousting, freaking Who's Your Daddy, and some other game way back when, and now Steam thinks I'm some perverted old man, even though I'm buying games like Kingdom Come and Power Wash Simulator and all of that, man.
I haven't heard back from the developers of Power Wash Simulator. I threw out some very, very good ideas last episode, and they have not contacted me to give me my due, which I'm disappointed in. But anyways, we should get on with the show here, Matt. If you can think back, 20 years ago, the Xbox 360 launched. Hard to believe. 20 years ago, a couple days ago, the 360 launched. I was, at that point, brand new father. My oldest boy was born in March. So just a couple months after that, he was born. I remember haphazardly thinking to drive to, we have something around here we have Costco and other places, but we have BJ's Wholesale Club. Mm-hmm. I was going to drive there in a snowstorm to get one because they were still kind of hard to get. Because if you remember, they came out with like the core model, which didn't have much, didn't have the hard drive or anything like that. And they had the Pro model or something. There was a couple different flavors. And anyways.
There was 3 different ones, wasn't there? Or just 2?
Feels like there was 3, but maybe it was 2. But anyways, I got it for Christmas. I remember that. Lynn surprised me. So the 360 era to me felt like peak gaming because a lot of different games are being pushed out on the platform. Like, it felt like the 360 at that time was what Steam is now. Like, Steam, you can go on, like you just told me, all the crazy games are on there. Granted, those were not on the 360, but Steam is a place where developers take a chance, right? And they do all sorts of things, indie games, AAA games, stuff in between. And that's what the 360 was. You had major AAA publishers putting out big tentpole franchises, but also putting out smaller games and taking chances. And now it's all about no swings and misses. Everything's got to be a hit. Otherwise, we're downsizing, closing. It just felt like a really anything went type era for gaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. hmm No, that's some great game. I mean, that's when your Mass Effects came out. That era, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, or not Modern Warfare, the Call of Duty Warfare, whatever the second one.
Modern Warfare
Actually,
2.
the first one came out first. But those were all hits.
Red
Obviously,
Dead.
that's when.
GTA 5.
Yep. God damn. That's back when online started becoming real prominent with the gaming, your Xbox Live and all that. It was just, it was, like I said, a hell of a gaming decade, for a while there. It was good.
Now, did you double dip at that point? Did you have a PS3 and an Xbox 360?
I had the Xbox 360 first, obviously, and then somewhere along the lines, I did get a PS3.
Because you had the Uncharted unboxing that was such a big hit on YouTube.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I'm still getting checks from that. I had the PS3. I remember buying the PS3. I was like, oh my God, it's so different from the Xbox. Like the Xbox, you could just go ahead and start a party with anybody who's playing a different game. PS3, it wasn't that easy. I mean, they just really did a lot for gaming back then with the Xbox 360 for sure. Like I said, that's probably peak Xbox also. Really.
Oh, for sure. All the different accessories. Kinect came out at the end for it, right? The first iteration of Kinect came out.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
It was definitely peak Xbox, and they sort of squelched all that when they moved to Xbox One. The famous Don Matrick, if you want to, play used games, we got a system for that. It's called the 360, but
Yeah.
But yeah, that was I think that was a time that you can't get those days back. I think Xbox would like to try to go back and rekindle that magic somehow, but it's not possible. I think it was organic. I don't think it was manufactured in some sort of like lab. Like Major Nelson, I think he was responsible for the whole achievement thing in games. Yep. Remember that when the 360 came out, you get achievements. That was a big thing. That's when achievement hunting became popular. Just think of the official Xbox magazine.
Yep.
Just the coverage was everywhere. And then you'd have, that was also the time where you were doing the midnight launches for games.
Yep.
And that was an era, too, where physical reigned. And you would get more of those Black Friday discounts that you were talking about because they wanted to get you in the store for the $10 or $20 game, and then you'd buy something else.
Normally it's like you get one or two games at regular price. You get like two at $20 or $10 or something like that. You had to buy multiple games a lot of times.
And that was also the era that ushered in, the indie games on consoles, right? Summer of Arcade was big for Xbox, and they had their whole indie push.
Castle Crashers, all those type of games back then.
Yeah. Hard to believe 20 years, though. It is true what they say. I don't mean to be corny, but the days are long, but the years are short is absolutely true.
Yep.
And here I am at my desk now. What do I have on the workshop mat, on the workbench? I got my Steam Deck.
Yeah, I got my ally
here at the desk, doing the latest updates to see how the download while it's in not sleep mode. What did we say? Just like
hibernate,
or what? It just goes to sleep. I still haven't seen that work.
Yeah.
I was downloading stuff, maybe because I had it plugged in. Maybe that's why. But I had a bunch of games I wanted to download. I had to take my son to his friend's house, and I had to go to take the trash to the dump. And I came back, the screen was still on, and all the games downloaded. So I never got to see it actually do that. So I'm testing that out. But here I have on the workbench as well the original ROG Ally. And last night while we were communicating via Discord like ones do, I was updating the ROG Ally to get to the full screen experience, which we're going to talk about later in the news item. So we've gone from the 360 era where games where only 250 megabytes of RAM, and now we have these handheld systems that have 8 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's like technology has increased in those 20 years, and that segues into the next conversation. The hot topic in gaming of late has been Gen AI in games, and I'm curious your take on it. So I think AI, when we talk about tools that developers use, has always been in gaming. They're always relying on machine learning to make processes smoother, faster, more efficient. But I don't think that's the concern of the consumer. The concern of the consumer is Gen AI, where the developer is not involved. The assets are made without a human interaction, really, right? It's going to some sort of prompt. I want this, make that. And there's no human creativity. And so the price remains the same, right? Games aren't getting cheaper. If anything, they might be going up. And there's less human creativity possibly making the game. So the consumer says, okay, you're serving me up slop that's not made by someone who's got years and years of experience of crafting these games. The price is staying the same or going up. And then people are being let go and put out of work, right? And I think that's some of the areas where the concerns are of people like, we got Call of Duty, no longer part of Game Pass Ultimate. Only in Game Pass Ultimate. For people like you who just have the Essential or whatever, you don't get it this year. There are some Gen AI elements in there, granted, not in the gameplay itself, but in the some of the rewards that you get, cards and things of that nature. Arc Raiders has Gen AI as far as voice. They had paid actors record certain voice lines, and then they took their voice and created other lines. There's a new game that got announced in the Xbox preview where there is some Gen AI concerns. There is a Crafton, which publishes PUBG now, and I think they got the rights to Hi-Fi Rush, which Xbox used to have, and they say they're going to be Gen AI forward company, meaning they're going to be mostly relying on Gen AI for their games. So what is your you have any concerns? You don't care? I just want to play the game, and as long as I'm not at the office working, I don't care? Or what is your take on all this?
A little bit all of the above. I think Gen AI, I want to say Gen AI, like from Forrest Gump.
Gen AI.
Gen AI does have a place in helping developers do certain tasks. Take a game like GTA 6 that's going to be coming out, or Red Dead Redemption, or whatever, or even Ghost of Yōtei, where they could use AI to generate all the background NPCs and people and stuff that you don't really interact with. They just walk around the city and do things here and there, make them look real people. I think there's a place there for that, or for generating backgrounds or landscapes and stuff like that. But as far as actually using Gen AI to do the game itself, like the main story and stuff like that, that seems questionable as far as the quality of content you're going to get. Now, obviously, it's always going forward with this stuff and learning, but I don't know. I'd rather have a lot of human development there with stories, coming up with how things are going to work, and that. Again, Borderlands a good example of that, generating all those guns in the game. There is a use for it for something like that, instead of having some guy just kind of go through that. But yeah, I think the quality needs to be made sure it looked at, because you see the quality of some of this AI stuff out there now, and you can tell it's AI. It's getting harder and harder, but you can just see where it's like, okay, well, this is no human at all had anything to do with this at all.
All right, I don't want it because I think it's a slippery slope, and we always say once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it's no pushing it back in.
Right.
I want games to. This is not me saying it, but this is I'm being a white guy in a suit at a publisher. I want games to come out faster. I want my sales quicker, and I want them, keep that machine going. They're not going to sit there and say, "Well, I'm going to give Matt Helmer." This would have been if I had to pay 100 developers to do this game. I would have had to charge you the full price, but now I have a machine doing it and 20 developers overlooking it, so therefore I can cut you, Matt Helmer, a $20 discount. So games are no longer going to be $69.99. They're going to be now, go back $59.99. That's not happening. Well, if anything, if anything, they're going to say to you, all these data centers that I've had to create to make this GenAI, is costing me more, and games are going up, and then the quality of the game is going to go down. And
that's what I'm worried about, is the quality of games going down. But it's definitely coming, right? I see it in my workplace. A lot of these companies, factories going more towards not AI, but robots, automation to do things that a person used to be able to do. And it's because of the cost. These robots don't ask for time off. They don't get sick. They don't need health care. It's definitely a cheaper solution in the long run. But yeah, the cost of these groceries and stuff aren't going down. They're just going to maintain the same. It's the same thing with these games. Yeah.
So I'm not here for it. I like to see people working. I like to see people contributing to the economy. Sure. I like to see people working in the industry that they've gone to school for and that they've been honing their craft in for years, rather than having the rug pulled out from underneath them. And then I don't want all my games to look samey. You know what I mean? For a while there, you had a lot of games that were like Gears of War, right? A lot of grays and browns and stuff like that. And then you had to have some games come out and sort of change the narrative. My fear if we go to this Gen AI, not only is it slop, you're gonna have fingers all in the wrong places. Some people with 7 toes and 3 eyes and everything like that. But there's just a distinct look of Gen AI right now when you look and see certain assets. And I don't want all my games to look like that. There's a whole thing of Unreal 5. People say they can tell immediately when they play a game if it's an Unreal 5 engine. I don't know if my eyes and my Siskel and Ebertness are that dialed in to tell if it's an Unreal Engine 5 game, but I think I can easily detect when something looks like thrown together and made by a prompt rather than someone's handcrafted work. So something to keep an eye on. Publishers, developers are getting a lot of backlash to that. I do think that is the vocal minority. I think a lot of other people who play games are unaware of these things, and they're just going to consume. And if that game becomes a dud, doesn't do well, they move on to the next one, and they're not in the trenches like we are learning about these things. They're just top feeders, just fucking, oh, this is a new game, let me try it out. Oh, that game died on the vine. Okay, now I'm pivoting to this. And they might not really be aware of why the game died and so on and so forth. So sometimes you got to remember that we're the vocal minority in these things, that the average gamer just goes to work, deals with their family, plays a fucking couple games a year, and moves on with their life. They got other things, bigger and better things to worry about.
And to go back to the cost, they don't want to pay a ton of money for this game. That $70, $60 is that sweet spot right now.
Yeah. Tell me, Matt, about nipples in Fortnite. Do you think the kids, let me back up for a second. That's a hell of a way to pause. I do think when I play games like Fortnite and The First Descendant, I question myself playing those games going, is a human making all that shit? After a while, that is a game where I feel like you sit there and play it enough and you go, like, someone is really getting paid. There's a whole bunch of like, generic characters in Fortnite, right? That are part of like the battle pass. And now that I am a Fortnite crew member because I am in Game Pass Ultimate, I have access to all these generic characters that get served up in the battle pass, and I question whether Tim Sweeney and Epic is really paying someone to do that, or is that GenAI? Here's the base model, give me fucking 30 versions of that. Sort of like Borderlands. No one at Borderlands is making all those guns. What they've done is someone at Borderlands or some group of people have made several hundred of those guns, and then they go to a machine and say, all right, spit out all different variations of those guns. But a human made all the assets, but then they're relying on some sort of machine learning to make all the different variations, right? And I think the same thing that's happening, I'm speculating, I don't think they're paying people to make those skins in Fortnite that are just generic characters that no one has any attachment to. That's a losing proposition, right? They probably make one model. The artist makes one model, and then they go on to do some sort of machine, make the other, 15 different variations of it. Anyways, you think of all the skins and all the characters that have been in Fortnite over the years. No one has ever shown their nipples until Homer J. Homer is going to be showing his nipples in the next skin that's coming out this week. How do you feel about Homer's nipples being in Fortnite? The first man or woman, to bear his nipples in Fortnite.
I don't think I've ever seen Homer's nipples. Okay, well, it's a man, right? So I guess it doesn't matter, right? It's Homer, a cartoon character. So I don't think it's a big one. He's going to be like without his shirt on or something.
Well, he's going to be doing a full Homer mat. A full Matt Homer. He's just going to be walking around in his tidy whities.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's because Homer does that in the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if they've ever or if I've ever really paid that much attention to it. If he had nipples or not.
I just sent you the link in Discord. Yeah, he's going to be with guns, donut lollipops, it looks like, and just his tidy whities, and he's got nipples and belly button exposed.
I don't see the issue here. Yeah. Yeah, see, yeah. Okay. I mean, what's the big deal? It's a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the issue here on no, I thought see it's just clickbait what you put in the show planner. Nipples in Fortnite. I thought, oh, what the hell is this? I thought maybe it was going to be like there's going to have a woman with a tight suit where you could see, underneath her suit the nipples poking out or something like that. Which I don't think that would be somewhat appropriate.
Well, I guess in this article from Eurogamer, the person says, for a bit of context, the lack of Fortnite nipples on its shirtless characters famously began after a Travis Scott concert was held in-game with the singer sporting some very smooth pecs. And this is quotes from the author. We watched Travis Scott's Fortnite concert again, and my son was like, where are his nipples? I took that apparently Travis Scott ain't got any nips. So they have gone out of their way, Matt, to censor the nipples in the past. They didn't want them shown for some reason. And now I'm curious what the backstory here is. Did the creators of The Simpsons say, no, this is how the art is and this is how it's going to be? Got to show his nips.
I'm looking at it on IGN. They're showing that Travis Scott thing. And I wouldn't even have noticed if there was nipples or not being shown. I would not have noticed that at all. And I mean, the thing is, see, now you point out to it, you're going to see it. You're going to notice it now, right? It shouldn't have been a big deal.
Notice my nips, Matt. Come on, notice my nips.
But I don't understand. Like when you go to the beach, you see other men's nipples.
I don't want to. Can't they cover that shit up?
This is overreaction. Okay, whatever.
All right.
I don't get it. If it was a woman, it might be a even bigger deal. But I'm indifferent on it. Okay, whatever. So it's a for one thing, it's a cartoon character, Homer. Yeah.
Now, Matt, where you are in the world, the country, the region,
The center of America.
does the word quahog roll off your tongue?
Well, isn't that the town that Family Guy? That Family Guy lives in? Isn't that where Family Guy lives?
Yeah.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah. But there is a phenomenon around here of people's windshields getting broken.
Okay.
With that clamshell in the vehicle. So the Wareham police the other day, in November 18th, so just a few days ago, an investigation was conducted and has been determined to be a target incident because of the nature of his job. The suspect has been identified but is still at large. Steven Seagal is approximately 16 inches tall with a 40-inch wingspan, last seen wearing white and gray feathers with matching yellow beak and feet. So we are having people, this is not the first report, but we are having reports of seagulls taking these clams out of the water. And how do they get the insides of the clam? They have to smash it. So seagulls take the clam out of the water and drop it down, but they're not being careful where they're dropping these things down. So a police cruiser windshield was crashed last week. Another woman at a bakery a few days prior to that had her back windshield smashed in. And a quahog,
something new happening?
A quahog was in there.
Interesting.
How would you?
Is this something new that's happening?
Is this something you need? I think, if you're going to, he's talking about coming up this way for a certain anniversary at some point. Maybe you need to get on the horn with your insurance agent and say, hey, I'm going to the Northeast, and I'm a little bit, leery of these seagulls dropping clams in my car. Am I covered? Is my windshield covered if they break it with a flying clam?
Pretty sure my insurance agent would hang up on me.
Well, that's for other reasons, because you keep calling her every little.
That's true. Well, that too. that too. I'm pretty sure.
Flying quahogs.
Interesting. This is something new that's happening throughout years and years. These things have been around. Just now it's happening. No.
I think there's just been a cluster of them lately, Matt.
Gotcha.
Shell dropping incidents.
Well, Mike, you grab your shotgun, go to the docks there, and just start shooting them. Call the
seagulls are nasty.
Crowd like you do deer here in Ohio.
Seagulls are nasty, man. They'll come after you in groups.
They are nasty. I wanted to take a sandwich right out of my hand off the beach one time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sitting there.
What beach is this?
It's down in Florida. This is down in Florida. Barb and I went down. We made a couple of turkey sandwiches. We're sitting on the beach and we're talking and that. And I didn't know any better. And my hands up like this with my sandwich. And next thing you know, man, that fucker came down. Wow! took my goddamn turkey sandwich right out of my hand. Oh, that son of a bitch took my turkey sandwich. I couldn't believe it.
How many years ago was this? Was this mild mannered Matt or often, Mad Matt?
This was back. We were still dating. We weren't married yet. So
Jesus, this was like 1970s.
Something like that.
That's why Barb was even allowed to wear a bathing suit at the beach at this time.
She was not. She had one of them old timey things on. It went down to her past her knees, type of thing.
Oh God!
I had the old timey swim shirt on. That was one piece suit type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it came right down to
straw hat cob pipe.
Mm-hmm. The red, white, and blue stripes around it.
God bless America.
You got that right.
Well, maybe we'll have to have Maniac report in if he's seen any flying clams up in Maine. He's got maybe lobsters are more prevalent up there. You got any flying lobsters?
Flying lobsters. Yeah.
Lobster might be.
I bet he's got a story too for that.
He said it was snowing up there last weekend.
Wow. Well, we had snow here last week.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah. All right, let's get on to what we've been playing. A lot of interesting stuff before we get to the news. You have been deep into Ghost of Yōtei, making progress.
Yes.
Last night you were telling me about how many of the Yōtei 6 you've taken out. Any new revelations beyond, loving the game, blah, blah, blah?
None. I mean, nothing new. Just pound through the story, which is got me going pretty good. Clearing out areas. Learning different techniques and weapons and stuff as you progress through the game. Pretty cool. I'm kind of though stuck at a point where like you need materials to upgrade your tools and weapons and stuff like that. I'm at a point where I'm having issues getting some of these components to do some of this stuff. So I'm not sure how to proceed with that because there's not like a lot of wandering enemies around the land to attack and do stuff. Like once you clear out a town, it's cleared out. You don't, you have to do it again. So I don't know if I'm missing something at all with that, but I'm enjoying it.
Let me ask you a pertinent question about that.
Yeah.
When you play it on an easier difficulty, are there less materials or less opportunities to get materials? It just makes the battles easier, but the rewards are the same?
Yeah, everything's the same. Your rewards are the same. The only thing it makes the easy mode, makes the timing of some of those quick action things, like the glints off their sword, like when it's purple or red or yellow, makes those windows larger and your reaction times easier. And it just kind of dumbs down their health a little bit for you. So that's what it has done. It has no effect on any other gameplay mechanics, anything like that for the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not nearly as deep in the game as you. I think I'm approaching the 10 or 12 hour mark right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 bows, 2 different types of bows, and 3 different types of swords. Are there more swords and more bows beyond that?
There's only the 2 bows. So you have your single katana, you have the odachi, you have dual katana.
Yep.
And then later on in the game, you'll learn you got this swingy thing with a knife hook on the end, which comes helpful. And then I just received a big spear thing, which is kind of cool. You gain bombs, smoke bombs, things like that.
I'm winning a lot of ugly battles, man. I don't feel like I'm going in and just wrecking shop. I got to devote my sole attention to this game and get better at the fighting, like I was in the first game. I'm dive bombing between a whole bunch of different games, and but I'm not like. I'm not losing a lot, but I feel like I'm winning a lot of ugly battles. Like I'm using a lot of Mr. Fuji salt to the eye and stabby, roll, stab again, more salt in their eyes. I feel like I'm using a lot of resources to beat like low level enemies where I should just be carving them up the Ginsu knives. Yeah,
it's not a game. That's why another reason I put on the easier mode. Because you lessen that a lot. It's still a game where these battles, you can't go just rushing in and wreck shop. Where you have to do a lot of blocking and timing and so forth and that. So there is that still in the game that you have to do.
I know you were very perturbed that I did the seven cut of the bamboo in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm jealous of that. I can't do that. I had to put definitely had to change that to easy mode. There's no way I could have done that without changing easy mode. I'm sorry.
I just memorize it and I get a rhythm and I go boom. And I did the
Get
one
the
the other
rhythm.
I did the one the other day where they shot the pieces of bamboo up in the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Good job. I can't do it. I got to do it the other way.
If I may quote Matt, hell of a game.
It is. Absolutely is. And then Battlefield 6, you and I played a couple times. We had a great night. Was it last week? You and I were playing and weren't really paying attention to the game at all. We were just sitting there in Discord, bullshitting, talking about just things here and there, having a good old time. Probably the best night of my life in Battlefield 6 as far as my win-kill ratio and all of that. It was pretty good. I couldn't believe how good we did that night.
The game still hasn't clicked for me, but yeah, we keep going back just because we've invested in it. And some of us have invested more than others. We won't go down that path again, but we have to go back to feel like we're getting our money's worth.
And then a good little... go ahead.
One of these nights we got to try the Battle Royale just to see how that goes.
Maybe that's where we dominate.
Yeah, just been saving it up.
Yeah, sure. Some good Friday night. We'll give that a try. Power Washer 2 Simulator. I beat the game. That game is so therapeutic. It is so much fun. I've even gone back. I've redone a couple of things over and over. Just a lot of fun. It's hard to explain. It's therapeutic. It's chill. Great after a rough day. Go in and just clean stuff. Props to the developers for that. Now I gotta wait for some DLC to come out or something. But they did a great job in the game. Did good. They're supporting it fully still, so it's awesome. And then the last game that's worth mentioning that we've been playing, Mike and I. You talked about games, baby games or something like that. I'm not sure where we're supposed to be playing this or not, but we're playing Lego Voyagers, and it's been a blast. It's been funny. I mean, we play as two little Lego studs, pegs, red one and a blue one, and you go around these worlds, traveling, solving puzzles. You got to pick up Lego pieces. You got to build bridges. You got to build ladders, carry things, move things. It can be difficult at times, but I'm not quite sure yet the point of the game and if this is an adult game or not, or if like little babies are supposed to be playing this thing.
I mean, it straddles the line between kids and adults because Matt and I discovered that if you press the square button, your character will make all sorts of like baby sounds, and we can't. And we can't. Sometimes we'll just sit there and do that. And neither one of us can come up for oxygen for about 5 minutes because we're just laughing our ass off. But then there are some things that Matt and I couldn't figure out. We're like, okay, if we couldn't figure it out, then maybe a 5-year-old couldn't figure out, but maybe an 8-year-old could.
The game, when we first started playing this game, I was like, what in the hell are we playing? Because like you said, these two little pieces, it's a 1x1 block, okay, for Lego, and like we could connect to each other, and you're rolling around, you're doing things, we're making these crazy noises. There's just all types of silly action happening in this game, and we got our own little houses that we go into and do stuff, and it can be quite the challenging and fun game. But yeah, we've had some good belly laughs playing that here so far. I'm not sure how far this game's going to go, what it's going to do, but it's been fun.
Yeah, it's anybody who likes the the split fiction, A Way Out. What was the one that won Game of the Year? I'm missing the one with the two parents, divorced.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. If you're into those types of games, then this would be up your alley. I bought the game. Matt just downloaded the Friend Pass, so only one person needs to buy it. It's made by Annapurna Interactive, so yes, it is a Lego game, but it's not made by the traditional Lego developers. I forget the name of that studio, but so it looks like Legos for sure, but it's got a nice art style to it. It looks great. It plays really well. You don't feel like the controls are clunky or anything like that. But yeah, some of it is just definitely geared. To me, it feels like a parent and a child would be the ideal setup here, because there's certain things you do that like a kid would be into. Like, think about going to the park as a kid and going on those horses with the spring, whatever the animal was on top, and there's a spring. There's like things like that you can do in the game, just like little rides that have like no bearing, but they're just little thrown in incentives or fun little things to do on the side, and then you push the story along. It definitely goes in like peaks and valleys in difficulty. Some things are just really easy to figure out, and there's other things going, what am I supposed to do here? And sometimes the obvious thing is your first instinct is the right thing. Like we had to get some fuses to do something with the bridge, and there was this drawbridge that was up. And for a while there, Matt and I were beating our heads to go, well, we got to get this drawbridge down somehow. And then eventually, it's like, just go around it. Just build a bridge that goes. You're on this boat, and you can build Legos like sort of like your own little like bridge that your character can walk on. It's just like, how about we just build a bridge that goes around the bridge that's up?
Yeah.
So sometimes, again, your first instinct might be the correct one. The chapters are very, very short. I'm not sure. We've only been playing a couple hours. I think we're already on chapter 17 or 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how long the game is. I don't think it's a very long game, but it's probably a little bit more than what we're after. But
yeah, the game does look great, and it does throw you right in there. I mean, there's no like press O to do this or press X. It's just like, boom, here you go. And it's kind of weird. Like the one time we was playing, we built this rocket ship, right? And then there was a thing where like one of us had to get inside the rocket ship, one had to sit outside to like trigger some stuff. And it was just a bizarre sequence of events. All of a sudden, like the snowstorm came, and then we're like going back in our little houses. And then the next morning, only one of us could get out and do something. And then the next night, you said you like was having a dream while I'm just sitting there, and it was just like, what in the hell is happening here? It was weird.
The whole rocket ship is the theme of the whole game.
Yeah.
So we won't get into spoilers, but something happens with the rocket ship and blah, blah, blah. So that's, if you're into space and Legos, this might be up your alley. I think it's well worth it if you got a parent and a child, or two people that are into Legos. It's $24.99, I believe, and might even be cheaper on sales here and there. So check it out. But man, I'm disappointed in your list here. Lego Voyagers. Prior to Lego Voyagers, 2 Fridays ago, we played Are We There Yet?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And that's not on your list.
I forgot about that. Yeah. That was fun. And we got to play some more of that. That is another challenging game. So it's a game where Mike and I, of course, are traveling across mountains and stuff in an RV. There's bears, Mike's favorite thing. But of course, Mike goes in the back of the RV, he just stays back there and lays down like he does in the pirate game.
Not sure. I got bit by the bear a couple times, and I helped build little bridges. If we back up, Are We There Yet is a game that's only on Steam. I didn't want to say it's like $7.49. There's no pass, so both people have to have purchased the game. Mm-hmm. It's a very indie type game.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The graphics aren't the greatest, but it's a fun game. And it's two fat, pudgy dudes that are trekking across this mountain in an RV, and you have obstacles. basically, the RV shouldn't be going where you're trying to go. And I don't know where we're trying to go, but along the way, there's all sorts of wooden planks that you have to put down to get the RV over.
The RV comes apart. You have to fix it.
Yeah. There's a lot of repairs along the way. You find scrap metal along the way to repair the RV or tires. You got to put oil in the engine, gas. And
you got to eat. You got to eat, but not the raw hamburgers. You got to cook the hamburgers first. Found that out.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny things in this game. It's it feels like a game that's been made by like one or two people. It's a hit on Steam right now, very low priced and lots of laughs. And you are not moving around in a way. If you ever played the game called Gang Beast on PC or the consoles, they're like these fat blobs that can't move around that well. Well, these guys are fat blobs too, but they move just slightly better than you can move around in that Gang Beast game. So don't think like you're playing something that they've worked hard on the animations, and I think it's intentionally done that way. It's not due to lack of skills. They've intentionally made it sort of like obtuse.
Yeah. I mean. We've gone across this one long bridge. I mean, you're trying to wave me across this bridge, and I'm trying to steer it right, and the RV kept going off. We had to back it up, move it, and then you try to jump, and last thing I heard was mistakes were made, and next thing you know, you're at the bottom of this chasm that we had to go down, and I had to save you, and oh gosh, it was quite the adventure so far.
Yeah, I only can play it in small doses because it's a mouse and keyboard game only, and the camera moves wildly, and I'm like,
yeah, it does.
I'm like, after 90 minutes, I'm like, man, I got to go soak my head in a bucket because I'm about to barf.
Yeah, it's pretty fluid with that good field of view and everything. It does give you a little motion sickness type of thing, for sure.
Check it out. Mileage may vary.
Yep. Worth it if you got a good friend to play with. I'm still waiting for mine.
Yep, same. Let's see. What else have I been playing? The Raccoon demo is back on Steam.
Oh, man. I can't wait for that to come out.
This is a coin pusher. We've talked about it a few weeks ago on a couple of last episodes. They had a play test, but now the play test is over, so now the demo's out. Same as it was before, some new twists and turns, but I am enjoying it. It does not run well on the Xbox ROG Ally X, so it was every once in a while it would boot me out of the game and bring me to Armory Crate, so I stopped that and I just played it on the PC. No issues whatsoever.
And you said no big changes from the first demo that we played?
Not really, just more put together, more a better package. It just feels more flushed out.
Cool.
The tutorial's a little long in the tooth. It's probably my only complaint. But it is a demo, so it's trying to show you how to play the game. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. Ball Pit, still playing that a bunch. I think I've unlocked all the characters now in all the worlds. So now it's just about going through and knocking out the achievements and getting every character to finish each world. Still having a lot of fun with that. And I'm like neck deep in like the sub part of this game where you're up above and you're building your world and harvesting materials. I'm trying to get that right. I've been following stuff on Reddit, comparing what people are building versus what I'm building, and I'm in a state of flux of moving stuff around. But in my world, I have unlocked all the squares, so I have the full field at play, and I just got to move stuff around in the right order to get the best harvest, I guess.
You're moving along pretty well in that game then, aren't you?
Yeah, there's one character that you unlock that plays the whole game for you. Okay? So sometimes if I'm in work meetings and I have a break, I'll fire up the game. I got this stand here that I bought on Amazon the company's called Ugreen. Right? Nice little stand. Very sturdy.
Oh, that's nice.
And I, can put the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally right on it. All right, so in this situation, I'm playing it on the Xbox ROG Ally, and I just have this character that'll play the game for you, but it will also play the game for you with another character. So there's a perk that you unlock in the game where you can have two characters playing at once. So I load up the character I want to play, and then I load up the character that will play the game for me, and I just set them off in 15-minute intervals to play, and it just, get all sorts of materials and stuff that way. And then, boop, they're done with that. I load up another world, and boom. So that's been kind of neat. Just set them off and let them get the materials for me.
You're saying AI is doing the work for you.
Don't know about that. All right. Fortnite we talked about. Now that I am a Fortnite crew member, I went in there and got all my rewards. I'm playing as Marge. I find it's very difficult to play with Marge and her tall hair. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. But yeah, the stuff they throw at you, like you level up in Fortnite so easily now that you feel like after every match you're unlocking more and more stuff, and you also get the unlocks for all the other variations of Fortnite, so the music and the racing and the Lego stuff. So you're not just unlocking stuff for the Fortnite game, you're unlocking it for all these other things that I'll probably never ever play. So is what it is.
Nice.
I have been playing a game called Titans of the Tide.
Oh.
And the part before Titans of the Tide is SpongeBob's Titans of the Tide.
Yes. And you told me they're not your big SpongeBob fan, so.
Yeah, SpongeBob has a new movie coming out, and there's this game that came out as well, SpongeBob Titans of the Tide. There is a demo on all platforms. If you're that, I've only been playing the demo. I have not purchased the game. But it's, 360 error, movie tie-in type games. It's very much, platformer, coin collector. And I've played to the demo twice now, I think, and I'm, enjoying it. Remains to be seen if I will plunk down $40 for it or not, but it looks great. It even has a performance or quality mode in the game, Matt. Yeah.
They've gone high tech with the SpongeBob game, huh?
This is probably one of the better looking SpongeBob games, and it's pretty cool. Patrick Star can go he can go underground, like starfish, and he moves around and shit like that. It's you want to play the demo, you want to spend 30 minutes playing a SpongeBob game. I think the demo's kind of fun, and it lets you.
You're playing, and what'd you say you're playing this on?
I'm playing on the PS5.
PS5,
but there's a demo on all platforms. Check it out. And the last thing I've been playing is Lumens, which just came out.
The new one, Lumens Arise?
Yeah, Lumens Arise. Yeah. It just came out on all platforms. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox. I know it's on PC and PS5. Yeah. And so it's a spin of, I'll say it's a spin on Tetris. I know this franchise has been around a while. I think the PSP days, PS Vita days, PSP.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even before that. So you're really just trying to make 2x2 blocks of the same shapes, and then you create a bigger shape of that shape you just were in before, and there's this bar that goes across the screen horizontally, and it clears up all the bigger blocks that you just made. I'm not very good at the game, apparently. 2x2 is a concept that is hard for my brain to wrap around, and all the different.
I can get past it 2x2.
And all the different configurations that it drops the shapes in. But if you ever played the Tetris game that they put out, Tetris Enhanced, I think it's called, which was a big hit when the PS5 first came out, it's made by the same people. So if you like that game, you're really going to like Lumens. It's a chill game, a lot of house beats, the backgrounds change. So you can get entranced with it. You know what I mean? It'd be a great. I imagine it would be a great game to take a fistful of gummies and play. You'd have a.
Maybe that's what you do with the Lego game.
I have a feeling that's a mushroom type game, sir. So that's what I've been playing, a wide breadth of games. Nothing from the Outer Worlds 2 this week. I have convinced myself that Ghost of Yōtei needs to be finished before I circle back to the Outer Worlds 2. It was too much for me to play both of them at the same time. Outer Worlds 2 seemed like it was really in-depth. Just real quickly, when I was playing it, they give your main quest line as your main folder in Windows Explorer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that main folder, you have a bunch of subfolders, which are the subquests. And the subquest, you work on the subquest to knock off objectives in the main quest, right? So you don't really have that like in Ghost of Yōtei, right? You have like a main storyline, but you can do subquests, and they don't really like have like line items in the main quest.
Right.
So when you're in the main quest of Outer Worlds 2 and you look at all the objectives, it's telling things that you need to do, but things that you need to do fall in those subquests. So it was something I was like, all right, I get what the game is doing. I can't remember if the first game was like that as well. I was like, it's too much for me to bounce between two big open world games like that. Let me do Ghost of Yōtei first and then circle back. And if I have Game Pass, Outer Worlds 2 is not going anywhere, right? So
yeah,
it'll be there.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same thing. Right, I want to finish Ghost of Yōtei before I go back and play some other stuff.
Yep. All right, moving on to the news here. First and foremost, Matt, the Steam Machine was announced by Valve. Okay, this is a, let me pull up the page here so I know what I'm talking about. Think of a GameCube-looking device. It is small form factor. They say put this under your TV set it under your desk, hide it under a banana. It's a powerful PC gaming packed into a roughly 6-inch cube. Those in the know are calling this the Gabe Cube. Right, Gabe at Valve, the Gabe Cube.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the laugh track?
Right, the crickets.
Core features that define the Steam Machine: Steam OS, an OS optimized for gaming with fast suspend, resume, and cloud saves. And that's just a start. We talked about the small form factor. It is cool and quiet. Steam Machine keeps cool and runs whisper quiet, even while running the most demanding games. I/O for days, ready for all peripherals and monitors you can throw at it. It's got a Gigabyte Ethernet, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0, 1 USB, 4 USB-A ports. It's CPU and GPU, 4K gaming at 60 FPS with FSR. Storage, it's available in two sizes, 512 gigabytes or 2 terabytes. It has 2x2 Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth. Steam Controller's wireless adapter is built right into Steam Machine for direct pairing. And no giant brick. Steam Machine power supply is built right in. There is a LED strip in the front that keeps tab system status on all download progress, even while your screen is off. You can customize it with different colors and animations. The front of the Steam Machine comes off, and you can put different plates on the front, so it's like a magnet. So if you just don't want black, if you want like a wood grain panel, I'm not sure if they're going to be selling them or if other people are going to be selling them. I'm sure a little bit of both. Again, it runs Steam OS and is Steam Machine verified. They're going to have a verified program just like they have the Steam Deck. That is a quick rundown of what this machine is. Now, as far as technical specs, people are saying it sits somewhere in between an Xbox Series S and a base PS5. It maybe leans more towards a base PS5. The question I have for you, Matt, thoughts on it overall? Do you think it's going to be popular? And then lastly, are you interested in any of this?
So first off, there's definitely a place for this, I think, in the world. I think a lot of people that are already PC gaming may go towards this, but if they ever get a PC gaming rig, I'm not sure what they'll do with this. That being said, they'll probably buy it to put it like on a TV or something like that for more casual gaming, possibly. Because their whole Steam library is going to be there. I think it'll be very popular. I think it's kind of lacking in a couple of things. Mainly storage, 512 gigabyte. No one's going to buy that unless you do a lot of streaming, cloud gaming. But a couple games and that thing's going to be filled. So definitely, the 2 terabyte version will be the one to get. For me, I don't think I would buy one right away just because of the PC gaming rig.
You're not the person they're coming after because you just game here, and no matter what you're playing, you're always there right in your office, little nook.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. But there are other people that want to get out of the office. They've been sitting there all day. They work at a desk at the office or at home, and then they want to go sit on the couch.
Right.
And they have an established Steam library already.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not in maybe the Xbox or PlayStation ecosystem, and they want something under the TV. Now you think of people like Jeremy, who's already done this for years with the smaller form factor for his home theater setup. He goes more of a horizontal case, I believe, but he's been ahead of the curve on this for a while. It is Steam has the telemetry. They have, when people connect a Steam Deck to a monitor or a television, Valve gets that info sent back to them. And they say 20% of Steam Deck users are connecting their Steam Deck to a television or monitor. Okay. Steam machines, of course, have been out 10 years prior. They came out in many different flavors, many different OEMs, made their version of Steam machines. It kind of was like a screen door in a submarine, though, because there wasn't only Linux games that could run, and there just wasn't a lot of support at that time. And, of course, the leaps and bounds that have been made since then, this is probably the right time, and this is the direction Xbox is going in as well, and Valve is kind of beating them to the punch a little bit. I think it comes down to price. There's going to be, you're not buying this at Best Buy, you're not buying this at Target. Again, just like the Steam Deck, you're buying this directly from Valve. I really
and
go ahead.
And people are saying it's price-wise, you're at computer prices for this.
Well, one developer, I think, talked out a turn, and this hasn't come from anybody official at Valve, like via a Valve press release. The developer was on a podcast, and so I don't know how much a developer is in on the pricing of it. So the developer was on, again, a podcast. I can't remember the name of the podcast right now. Friends Per Second podcast. I never heard of it. Maybe it's a big podcast. I don't know. But a software engineer, Pierre Loup Griffias, said, I think if you build a PC from parts and get to basically the same level of performance, that's the general price window that we aim to be at. Ideally, we'd be pretty competitive with that and have a pretty good deal, but we're working on refining that as we speak. Right now is just a hard time to have a really good idea of what the price is going to be because there's a lot of different things that are fluctuating. Valve's designer, Lawrence Yang, who does speak out a lot on the Steam Deck on Twitter, says a lot of external factors that are changing things. So you can read into that. We got a news story here coming up about the RAM, and of course there's tariffs. All those types of things, I think, is what they're up against. When asked to confirm that Valve does not plan to take a loss on the console to grow market share, the engineer went on to say, no, it's more in line with what you might expect from the current PC market.
So it's not going to be subsidized by anything. And they're not going to take a loss.
According to this one engineer, Gabe might sit on his yacht that he just bought for $336 million and say, I'm feeling I'm feeling frisky today, and you know what? Sell it for $500, and the 512 model for $500, and sell the 2 terabyte for $750, and see what happens. But I think if I had to guess, Matt, I would say the 512 model is going to be like $699, and I would say the 2 terabyte model is $899. That's what I'm thinking.
Everything I've been reading said Valve has confirmed to the price of its console-style PC, the Steam Machine will be in line with comparable spec PCs and not be subsidized to reach lower price points. Now, like you said, Gabe could come out and say something different, but I mean, Valve is saying they're not going to subsidize it, and it's going to be comparable to a PC.
So I think subsidized, I think they would be the price of like a Nintendo Switch. I think $699 and $899 is not subsidizing it. They're not putting parts in there that are top of the line parts. It's only got 8 gigabytes of VRAM, right? The handhelds that we have 16. Our machines rigs have 32.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the Steam Deck's what? OLED is what? 6 something? 650?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I imagine, that $899 probably be the 2 terabyte Steam Machine, probably.
I think at that price, it's not going to have huge penetration in the market. I think it will do probably comparable to what a Steam Deck does. You got some Valve devotees out there who will just buy anything Valve, just like this PlayStation people. The one thing that's interesting about this is anti-cheat. So if people want to buy this to play their Battlefields, their Call of Duties, whatever other games have kernel-level anti-cheat, you're not going to be able to play those on this machine right now. Now, they said they're working on that. They want to get to that point. But as it is today, you want to play those games on a handheld, you have to go with the Windows-based handhelds, not the Steam Decks, the Destinies and things like that.
Right.
So, and it won't be Windows-based. You won't be able to install Windows on it, I don't believe. Maybe you can, like a Steam Deck, if you wanted to do that, but I'm not sure why you'd want to do that.
Yeah, just the whole point of buying a Steam Deck is get rid of all that shit.
Right. But, for people that are invested in their Steam Deck library or Steam library and are happy with the Steam Deck, then, they could do this. There's a lot of people come down on different angles in this. They say it's going to sell like gangbusters. A lot of people say it all depends on price. They don't see it doing that well, just like the 10 years. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. This is where Microsoft's headed. Microsoft's going to come out and try to do something more premium than this at the Windows level. And Valve's coming out with something straddling a little bit in the middle, and I think it really depends on price. And I don't think the Steam Decks are incredibly expensive in terms of the Asus products. So it'll be curious to see where they come out. They're watching it closely. Anything can happen. Just like the Xbox ROG Ally X, I think it's going to come down to the last minute. I think they probably know today what they want to sell it for, and they want to see what's changing. Because they're using a little bit of older technology, they probably went to AMD a while ago and got all those parts at some sort of a discount. They're not putting in the latest and greatest, so maybe the parts that they have in there, there's a surplus of those, and that brings the price down a little bit. But then where is it being assembled? All those things factor in. And then rich people want to stay rich, so no one is selling it at a loss anymore. There's a cost when you buy a $336 million yacht with the hospital and everything else on it. That bill comes due at some point, maintenance and everything else. So no one's in the business of losing money anymore these days.
You and I are paying for that yacht. We don't get to get on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what it comes out with. Is it something for me? I don't know. I guess it really depends on the price, sir.
They haven't really come out with a time frame for this, have they?
Early 2026.
So May, probably. April, May.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to guess, I would probably say announce the price after the holidays, pre-orders, and then available March. Just my guess. All right. It's that time of the year again for the TGA nominees, the Game Award nominees. We won't obviously go through them, but let's just talk about Game of the Year for this episode. We can get into some of the other ones later on. The nominees, sir, this year are Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Anything on there that you feel is missing?
Let's see, Yōtei.
Blueprints?
Blueprints, maybe. Never heard much about that game lately.
I'm surprised and not surprised that Hades 2 is on there. Hades 1 won the first one. Well, I mean, won the Game of the Year the first time it was nominated, right? Excuse me. Like Hades 1, Hades 2 has been in early access for a while, and it just came out of early access this year. So maybe they get in there just because of past. I mean, supposedly it's a better version of the first game, so maybe it deserves to be in there, but I think some of those people are burnt out on early access, and sometimes there's not much of discussion around Hades 2 because of that. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, you knew that was going to be on there just because of Keeley.
Yep.
But this is all done on the up and up with a voting committee across several hundreds of outlets. So this is the list that got narrowed down. Neither one of us have played Claire Obscure Expedition 33 or Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. I don't think you've played any of these games except Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So if you had to vote, that would be your vote, right?
Yeah, that'd be my vote. It's an excellent game.
Yeah.
I still need to finish. But, man.
I feel the same way about Donkey Kong Bonanza. That was my vote. I need to get back to that. I really love that game. So that's where I'm at. And there's tons of other categories that we can go over at a later date as we get closer to the awards show here. December 11th. Are you ready for 3 hours on December 11th? Do you have that marked on your calendar, set aside?
I'm looking forward to it.
We were laughing our ass off last year. We were revisiting it just a few nights ago. We had the Jeff Keighley at the top of the show was thanking some older Japanese developer for being in attendance, and there was something that was lost in translation, and the guy thought he was going up there to get some award, so he started walking up there, and they quickly cut camera.
He had a piece of paper, like he had a speech and everything ready to go.
And that was hilarious. And then they were talking about the Indiana Jones game, which is not in their Game of the Year either. And Harrison Ford was drunk off his ass and refused to read the teleprompter. And I don't need no teleprompter. He was ad-libbing. And then they brought fucking Todd Howard on stage next to Troy Baker. And it was like, it was like having Danny DeVito and Arnold next to each other. You know what I mean? It was just like...
that was just classic.
The first 5 minutes were comedy gold, but not intentional.
But great. We had so much fun watching that last year. Yeah. Do it again this year.
Well, that's the thing we didn't talk about at the top. My hours for work have now been confirmed.
Oh, that's right.
I will now be working a Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 9 shift. So all my evening fun might be curtailed for a little bit till I get used to that. But I will soldier on and try to watch that while I'm working. People might not get good support that night as I'm talking to you and watching. But so be it. Next news item here. Global RAM price increases could reportedly trigger yet another wave of price hikes for Xbox consoles. So global DRAM shortages could soon affect Xbox consoles. So I'm not sure if you've been following this, Matt, but DRAM contract prices have reportedly increased 170% year over year, driven by a huge agreement signed by Samsung and SK in October, which will supply OpenAI with nearly half of the world's DRAM output for its Stargate data centers. Again, getting back to AI. According to Moore's Law as dead sources, the resulting price hikes and shortages have left companies without a large stock of components, reportedly including Microsoft. They didn't plan ahead at all, said host Tom. If you still want an Xbox for some reason at their current pricing, those prices could go up soon, or supply could just entirely dry up. Because multiple sources of mine have apparently been warned by sales reps at Microsoft that this is going to affect the Xbox Series consoles very, very soon, sooner rather than later. According to MLID, MLID is Moore's Law is dead. PlayStation is likely to be less likely to be affected by the DRAM price increases. Believe it or not, PlayStation, from what I've heard, Sony planned ahead and bought up gobs of RAM near the bottom of the pricing, and thus they shouldn't be fined for months. They have plenty of GDDR6, at least that's what I'm being told. And that's how PlayStations are on sale right now. Currently, the PS5 retails $5 to $550, with the PS5 Pro retailing for $750, and they're having Black Friday sales on both of those right now.
Yeah, they are.
So what do you think of that, Microsoft not planning ahead?
Probably falling a little short. I guess I wonder how many consoles are just sitting there waiting to be bought before this actually becomes an issue.
Right.
It's not like, you buy this and they build another one, right? And they've got probably warehouse full of these things.
Well, not really. They're not really in the stores. Throughout the life cycle of the X, not that I'm in stores a lot, but when I was in stores, you never just saw the X sitting there. They were kind of hard to get.
Yeah, I don't go to stores that much myself.
Yeah.
I haven't read anything where people are like, oh man, I need an Xbox. I can't find one anywhere.
Well, your phone's an Xbox, Matt. Your handheld's an Xbox now. Your microwave's an Xbox.
My hand's an Xbox.
Oh. So we'll see if the price, what I want to get back to more, not so much about the RAM and the price hike, it's about the brand reputation damage. If they increase the price again, the third time, people are just going to be like, beyond WTF, they're going to be like, all right, I'm done. It's going to be to a point where people are just going to be like, they're not going to understand the global shortages. They're just going to see the price increase, and it's just going to be like, fuck Xbox.
Yeah.
Anyways, be on the lookout for that, Matt. You need an X or an S for the farm, for the truck, for the RV that you're going to buy. You need to go buy them up now.
Well, that's why I get this fine piece of equipment.
Okay. Let me see. Let me go. Show me again. All right. Now, did you turn that on today? Because the next story is for you. The handheld, the full screen experience is now available on the handheld devices. And if you want to get into the Insider program, you can even do it on your PC and your tablet. Now, the thing is, you do all these updates that we were doing last night, or at least I was. You did yours a day or two before. The full screen experience just doesn't turn on by default. You have to go into gaming, settings, and then enable it there. Have you done that yet?
You should. I have not done that. As we talked last night, I said probably during the football game, I'll probably start checking some of this out.
So I want to hear the feedback. So we were wondering how soon it was going to be post-launch that they would roll this out to the other devices. And here we are about a month later. I think the Xbox ROG Ally came out October 16th. So just a little bit over a month, and they've rolled it out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm eager to hear your experience. Now, remember, like I told you, if you look at your ROG Ally, on the left-hand side, there's two buttons, right?
The
first button has the two squares, and then there's the Armory Crate button underneath it.
Yep.
That's going to be like the Xbox button on the Xbox ROG Ally. You press that, and it's going to, once you're in full screen experience, is where it's going to pull up that sub menu that you can, access all your other launchers and settings menu.
Yeah.
I'll be available for service calls
Thank you.
as you try this out.
Thank you.
Are you excited? Are you eager? You seem lukewarm at best.
I'm lukewarm at best.
Why? What
Yeah.
are you hesitant to change?
I don't know, man. I'm just so I don't know. There's nothing wrong with how it works now. Sure, I'm all for streamlining stuff and that. Armory Crate is already installed and done it. I'm going to try because I'm curious if it actually does what it says, where it turns off the functions and things that you don't need in the background to make this more of a.
Lynn keeps coming to me. How can we turn off these functions that we don't need anymore? You're 50 years old. You don't need these functions anymore. I'm like, there's always need. There's always needs.
There's always needs. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm a little weary. Normally, I'm not this way. Normally, you're the one that's weary about doing things and changing things up. I'm a little. I was like, well,
you've already done the fucking update. You've already done now it's just a toggle, sir.
Yes. Yeah, I got to find out.
So you do the toggle, restart the system.
Yes.
It's going to put you in Armory Crate. Swipe up on the screen, and you're going to see the windows sort of go like tiled, and it'll tell you that you're in full screen experience. Swipe to the left to get to the Xbox, and then you're on your way. Again, I'll be available for service calls. All right, last two stories here. We'll go real quick. Xbox had a partner preview the other day. Looking through this, the biggest announcement is just what we talked about, is that the full screen experience was coming the next day to the handhelds. There's a lot of other games here. Some of them look interesting, like Roadside Research. I think, something like this would be something that we would play. If you ever wanted to be an alien working undercover at a rural gas station, well, that's incredibly specific, and we've got that game for you. Roadside Research is a comedic co-op simulator where you'll do just that, with the aim of gathering intelligence on humans. I could see us playing Roadside Research together.
Yes, I can see us doing this.
Yeah. There's some other games that look mildly interesting. Of course, the 007. Are you a 007 guy at all? Did you grow up watching those?
Yes. Yeah, the movies, all the movies. Yes.
Yeah. So 007 game looks good to me. It reminds me a lot of Uncharted, what I've seen of that. So I'm interested in that. The not that you're in what, Essential now for Game Pass, but Clover Pit is available now on Game Pass. I'm not sure. It's only with Ultimate and Premium, so you might not have access to it. But that was the game I was telling you on Steam with the roulette, one-arm bandit. Mm-hmm. That came to Game Pass, and Dave the Diver and In the Jungle DLC.
Great game.
Is available on Xbox now. So, yeah. Overall, decent partner thing, but nothing blew my socks off. But I want to hear next episode all about the full screen experience, sir. And the last news item, we'll circle back to our favorite game, Ghost of Yōtei. The new game plus comes to Ghost of Yōtei tomorrow, November 24th. It's a free patch, offers new cosmetics, new trophies, new photo mode features, replayable content, and more. Where's your excitement level?
Excited.
Not terribly excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm very much far in the game to, change things up. I'm guessing, though, I could, the replaying missions and stuff might be interesting. I don't know. See how this, the cosmetics are cool because you can get the cosmetics in this game are really neat.
It looks like
comparable content should be interesting.
Looks like a new game. Now, could you have a gun in this game yet?
Some people have like a gun type of thing. I do not have it yet.
You've seen people play as Atsu with the gun?
I have not seen people play Atsu as gun. I've seen the NPCs,
right,
your enemies have muskets and stuff like that.
So I guess New Game Plus, it's saying, yes, that means it's time to bring a gun to a sword fight with all the armors, abilities, and weapons from your first playthrough available from the start of the game. So I guess it means maybe in New Game Plus you get the gun?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Possibly. I mean, like I talked before about getting low on resources, maybe replay a couple of these missions. Maybe I can get some of these resources back. Which would be interesting. Almost feels like a cheat because I don't know if you're supposed to be able to do that. Because we talked about how the other day, the gambling side game in this, I've won a ton of money off of that. And now it limits my ante to 50 coins instead of what it used to be. And some people are saying that is built into the game to not exploit and win a bunch of money. And then there's other people are saying that is after you beat the gambler, all the gamblers, and get all their charms, then that's it. That's the limit on the ante. So there's two different sides of the story there. I'm not sure which one to believe.
All your trips to the casino have paid off.
Yes, they have. I knew it would.
I'm terrible at that. I'm terrible at the. You're talking about the flicking thing, right?
Yeah, the flicking where you flick the coins.
Terrible at it.
Oh, it's fun. I like it. So yeah, I don't know. I'll check it out.
Okay. We got a little bit of breaking news, Matt. When we end the show here, we were talking about the Game Awards.
Yes.
Naughty Dog has confirmed. I guess sources have confirmed that their new game will not be at the Game Awards this year. There will be no new trailer, and the game will not be coming out next year. So Naughty Dog's new game is Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Just rolls right off the tongue. Is skipping the Game Awards and won't be released in 2026 either. So that points to me as a end of PS5 life cycle, beginning of PS6 life cycle game. Now, they're going to follow suit before, like where they release it at the very end, get people to buy it for the PS5, and then a few months later when a PS6 comes out, they'll come out with like a PS6 enhanced version.
Enhanced? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that.
I would love to have them get back to Uncharted 2 at the same time.
I wouldn't mind going through the Uncharted series again. Classic games.
All right, Matt. Well, I'm going to let you go so you can get your fixings ready for Cincinnati, New England today. Do you have a prediction on the score?
Cincinnati, 32. Patriots, 7.
Wow, you're the optimist. You would say and telling me all week that Patriots going to kill him, but
that was a sly game I was playing with you.
But publicly, you will never. Matt said some very harsh words to me this week. He said I'm a very negative person, especially when it comes to my sports teams. That I'm very negative.
Yes, you are. You're like, oh, they're horrible. They're losing. And here the Patriots are what 7-2 or something like that.
Excuse me, 9-2.
Yeah, 9-2.
8 wins in a row.
Yeah, see, and so there you go. Going to the Super Bowl once again.
I don't have a great feeling about today, but I don't have a bad feeling as well. I think a typical Cincinnati game of late where you guys are scoring a lot of points. So I could easily see I could easily see 38-30, New England 38-30, Cincinnati, something in that spectrum. I am disappointed Joey B's not playing this week, but we will take Joe Flacco instead and see what happens. And then, of course, we don't have, Jamar Chase in the field today. Do we want to discuss that at all? How is Cincinnati? How is the Ohio populace? What are they thinking about Jamar Chase? What is the word on the street? The feelings?
They are very upset with Jamar and his antics.
Embarrassed or upset?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm embarrassed, upset. You're better than that.
He's sullied the name.
Yeah.
That's not a word that's used often enough. Sullied.
Sully. You're right. Yeah. You're correct. Yeah. I mean, Jamar was never that. I mean, Jamar would talk smack and stuff like that. But I mean, spitting. Come on, man. That's not you.
When the kids peel out of the driveway in the cul-de-sac, when they come back the next day, do you say to them, "You have just sullied the Helmer name"?
I'm going to. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start. That really put the pressure on him to stop doing things. You have sullied our name. You have dishonored me.
Well, Matt, I wish you nothing but the happiest of holidays. You are having the family over, right?
Yep.
That's what usually happens.
Yep.
All right.
Having people over on Thursday, so be smoking the turkey once again. Drinking bourbon.
Now you get to do a lot of board games, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got them all.
Play some card games.
Do you clean any of these so you're not passing germs along? Do you do? Or no, they just go back in the way they come out the way they went back in. Do you do any cleaning?
There's probably leftover food in the box from last year.
A lot of crusty fixings.
Yeah, who knows what's in there? We'll find out. I'm fine.